First up is our friend Fantasia. Now, Fantasia found herself in a bit of hot water this week because she advertised a concert, and on the flyer, and it was going to be her, John P. Key, Anthony Hamilton, and they're going to be singing. And on the flyer, she used the phrase, "All lives matter." And people came for her swiftly. People were like, "Sis, how could you use this phrase? Your career is canceled again." They talked about, literacy, all types of things. People just go extreme left. And then Fantasia and her husband came forward and they tried to, explain what their intentions were. And they were like, Black lives matter because all lives matter. And, they were like, you guys got so caught up on the phrase that you missed the complete intention of the concert. So I wrote about this, and after listening to she and her husband talk, I don't feel like all lives matter was the right choice. And, it's been used as like a counter argument to Black Lives Matter by a lot of different people on social media. But I also understand that Fantasia and her husband have been like actively protesting in Charlotte recently. And I feel like, she's spoken openly about the different instances of police brutality. So I feel like she and her husband, their intentions were in the right place. I don't think anyone who saw the phrase on the headline personally felt like Fantasia was coming against the Black Lives Matter movement. I just feel like people kind of, to me, the way they came at her, they weren't trying to come at her to educate or inform her of the right way to do things. It was just a way to tear her down and completely piss on the efforts that she was trying to make, when a lot of people on Twitter aren't really doing much themselves. So that was my take on it.
Yeah, I just feel like we're not there yet. I believe that all lives matter, like you said, in the general sense, it's the truth. Everybody's life does matter, but that's the whole argument that people keep bringing up. Like, that takes away from the conversation about the fact that it's so clear that our lives are not being valued by police officers and just in general, in different ways. Like, it just doesn't seem like we matter. So even when your intentions are pure, I just feel like there are certain things that you should just kind of stay away from until we get to a place where there maybe are some solutions happening. And then you can start saying that when we know and we can see that things are being done to show that, yeah, everybody's life does matter. I think maybe being a little apologetic about the use of it and then just leaving it alone would be good. I think the concert still should have went on. If Anthony Hamilton, somebody on the roster, is like, yo, I'm not even feeling this myself, I just think just explaining like, this is why we used it, but we understand that it rubbed people the wrong way. And so for that, we are apologetic. But we're still about this movement. We still want change.
I think there's a lot of people, and I'm not even talking about Fantasia, that are just, if they're a celebrity or not, they're just very far removed from it because it hasn't directly impacted their life. It's one thing to repost a hashtag or to lift prayers up for a person that you're grieving that you don't even know, but then when it directly impacts you, I think a lot of that, shimmy, shimmy, ha, ha, just pray it off, or just, I don't know, let's talk to this certain person to help us. I think a lot of people do the whole, like, love and light, but it's not really, they don't really feel the movement because it hasn't, really impacted them.
I wish people had come at her in a different way. Because, if people had come at me on some, like, you don't even know how to read, how could we expect you to do the flyer right, or your career is over, or da-da-da-da, when you're trying to do something positive. I probably would have been on the defensive, too, like, even if it was a mistake. So people need to really be, like, what is your intent, like, when you try to tear somebody down on Twitter? Like, is your intent to educate her and to tell her, like, people have been using this phrase incorrectly? Or is your intent to, like, shame her and embarrass her? It's just, that's not, you get the different results the different way you go about things, and it just wasn't right.